Welcome to the video series Life Skills with Louie. We are focusing today on the skill non-judgmentally, which is within the set of skills called the being beyond, which are mindfulness skills. If you have not watched the introductory video to this series, I encourage you to watch it. And if you have not watched the introductory video to the entire video series, I also encourage that because it will help to orient you and make the experience less confusing overall. So to dive right into the non-judgmentally skill, the key essence of this skill is that judgment is something that we as humans overlay over our experience. And judgment in and of itself is not good or bad. That would be putting a judgment on a judgment. It is sometimes helpful, and it's a quick shortcut of helps the mind to narrow itself and focus. This is good, this is bad. And so it's a sometimes helpful shortcut. The issue with it is that it creates a bit of a roller coaster. Life has many twists and turns, many different emotions that come up, and moments that are pleasant, moments that hurt. And if you put an overlay of judgment over those, it enhances and increases the intensity. And in general, many times more intensity is not better. So I like to tell a story to illuminate this skill. And this is not my story. It came to me through DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, but also it's come through so many different lineages. It wasn't new to them. And I've enhanced it a bit over time to have it make more sense. So this is the story about a wise farmer. So a wise farmer was living in his hometown and was a notably peaceful individual. And he was out one day with his family, his few sons, plowing in the farm. And their life was challenging. They had limited finances, were squeaking by. And he and his sons were plowing, and the plow got stuck and broke. And so he went to look. He felt some fear about the fact that this had happened. He didn't know what it would mean for the family. His sons were also feeling some fear. He went home that night, and the townspeople said, "Oh, that is such bad misfortune. So sorry to hear that. This is terrible." And he said, "Good, bad, I don't know. But I'm scared, and tomorrow I'm going to look at the plow and see what is going on." So the next day he went out and did his best to fix the plow. And as he was getting it out from what it was stuck on, he realized it was a giant hunk of gold that was in the ground. And so suddenly he had a lot of money, and he felt joy with this and excitement and a little bit of fear. What did this mean? And his sons got the gold back home, and the townspeople all looked at him as, "This is the best fortune in the whole world. This is amazing. This is such good luck." And he said, "Good, bad, I don't know. I feel very excited and joyful. I'm gonna try to invest it and do my best with it." But he had these emotions that ran up, but he remained to have this settled mind and sense of peace. And he invested it and decided to invest in a horse farm because that was a good investment at the time and seemed like it would be helpful for his family and keep them stable. And his horse farm was successful, and his sons were learning to ride the horses. And one of his sons was riding one of the horses and fell off and broke his leg in a very tremendously painful way. And the farmer was so sad to see his son in pain, and so loving of his son, and scared for what this would mean for his son. And he came home that night, and the townspeople all said, "Oh, this is such bad fortune. This is terrible. I'm so sorry for you." And the farmer and father said, I feel so sad for my son. I feel scared, and good, bad, I don't know. We're going to do our best to take care of him." And so he continued to go about his life and care for his son. His son's leg mended, but it was never the same. And soon, a big war broke out in the country, and all the towns were having military come to conscript young men. And the son of the farmer was of age to go, but because of his leg, he could not be conscripted. And so he did not go. And so many of the other townspeople's children did have to go. And at the town meeting that night, so many people were upset, but they said to the farmer, "This is such good luck for you that your son doesn't have to go." And the farmer said, "Good, bad, I don't know. I feel so much compassion for you and, losing your sons to have to go to fight in this war. And I feel so sad for them. And I feel, of course, relief and joy that my son is not having to go. But good, bad, I don't know." And it could go on. And the lesson of this story is that life always has pain and pleasure, and they come and they go. And the more overlay you put on them of what it means and what it's going to mean for the future, the more intense the rises and the more intense the falls, and the less sense of peace that you have. So judgment shows up in so many different ways. We judge ourselves, we judge other people. Some people have issues with this around if they've been really harmed. Of course, that person must be a bad person. And this has nothing to do with if someone has been super harmful. They are a person who does harm, and boundaries need to be set. So that's critical. It's just that, again, the mental overlay, it's worth questioning. Does it really bring more of a sense of peace? That humans can be so hurtful to call someone bad and evil. Is it truly helping or not? So that's the thing to ponder with non-judgmentally. And if you practice this, describing things more clearly and staying away from good and bad, notice how it affects your mind.